This is actually the same inmate that got jumped in my first story that got the handcuff splitting his head open. That same dude was in like our most restrictive housing unit. He's in B block. And he's out on the rec yard, and one of the inmates rats him out. He's like, hey, just so you know, like when this guy goes out on the rec yard, he's got a cell phone and he's talking on the phone. And you can't see it from the cameras because B block is so secure. Like even the rec yard, it's concrete boxes. Okay. So we can't see in on the cameras. And so he'd go out and he'd talk on the phone and then shove it up his butt and come back to his cell.
Oh my.
So
what kind of phone are we talking?
We're talking like a Nokia flip phone.
Okay.
Right. Not like a big iPhone, but like a little flip phone.
You never know.
And so we pull him off the rec yard, and we have this chair that you could sit in, and it would tell us if there's metal in your body. Like you'd sit in the chair, and depending on where the metal was, we had this thing, and it would light up.
Oh,
and you could do it like people would hide razor blades in their cheeks, like in between their teeth.
Interesting.
And so you could like make them, basically like metal detect their faces. Yeah. We'd find stuff all the time with this machine. It worked great. So he sits on the machine. It lights up on his butt. And I'm like, you got something in there. And he's like, no, I don't. I'm like, well, you do. And I'm not going to go like, I can't like force it out of him, right? So the protocol is you take him to medical and you'd put him on defecation watch is the term for it.
Oh, fun. Is that a new guy job?
It should be, right? But we get him to medical, and the shift commander's like, Austin, you found it. Like, this is your thing. You do the defecation watch. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this. He's like, no, you got it. And I'm like, so I have to like read the policy because I'm like, I've never done this.
You got time, right? You're just waiting for this dude to take a shit.
He's just sitting there, and he's naked, right? And so he's naked in the cell, and I'm like reading the policy, and I'm like laughing as I'm reading it. I'm like, bro, oh, this sucks. It's like feed him corn. If he refuses, force feed him corn, right?
What the hell does corn do?
Because when corn passes through, you know that it's like worked its way through the system.
Okay.
So when you see corn come out in his poop, you're like, well, there's nothing in there, because the corn's out. So it's like, get corn from kitchen, feed him corn, force feed him corn if he won't eat corn.
This is in the policies.
Yeah. And then it's like, when inmate poops, like have poop in bag, get these like popsicle sticks, cut up like dice poop and look for contraband. I'm like, so I'm reading this and I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, you pull that cell phone out because I'm not force feeding you corn and digging through your shit. Like, I'm not doing it. Bottom line, like, I'm not doing it. And he's like, okay, you're right.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, you're right. He's like, I don't want you force feed me corn,
Either way, the outcome's going to be the same. You're the same punishment. If you pull it out.
Yeah. And you're about to make a lifelong enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I will ruin your life if I have to dig through your shit.
Yeah.
Like, so he's like,
good way of putting it.
100%, right? So he's like, look, I'll make a deal with you. Go get me a bag, like a trash bag, and then don't watch. And I'm like, done? Like, okay. So I go get the trash bag. I hand it to him. He's like, turn around. I'm like, yeah, no, I ain't watching this. So I turn around, and 20 seconds goes by, and he knocks on the window, and he'd smashed the phone after he took it out, which like I didn't care. And so he hands me the phone, and he's got like a plug-in wall charger, like with the thing. And I'm like, all of this was in there? Like, are you kidding? And he's like, just a little shrug. I'm like, all right, well, like that's it, So yeah, man, people shove stuff up there all the time. Yeah,
that
cell phone in the butt, man. Prison's crazy. He got it from a visitor. A visitor brought it in.
Okay.
And a visitor put it in so like in Max's, the way we used to do visiting, the visitors would be on one side of the glass and the inmates would be on one side, no contact, and they'd talk through phones. So she came in, she put the phone like up under the desk where the phone was, and then the janitor, who's an inmate, because we had minimum security janitors, they did all the cleaning, the laundry, the painting, like the maintenance, kitchen, like all that's done by inmates. So the inmate janitor for the unit comes in, gets the phone, takes it out to the tier with him, and then I don't know if he left it on the rec yard but somehow he got it back to him. Yeah. So yeah, that's how that contraband got in.
It is one of the things about prison that fascinates me is how they're able to get so much into prison.
Yeah.
And then finding out that a huge portion of contraband coming into prison is coming from the COs.
Staff, yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
It's wild, dude. And I'll tell you, there's a huge portion of like going through training that's like, do not get compromised by inmates.
Because once you do, they own you.
They own you. They'll get anything from you, right? And I remember the first time I saw a staff member get compromised, it was a female, and she was, we were doing a cell search, and I'd worked with this female so many times, and she'd been there for about a year.
Okay.
And we're searching this gangbanger cell. He's a Aryan Knight, like one of the big white gangs in Idaho, and we're searching the cell, and all of a sudden I like see a picture of her in like, you know, lingerie, and I'm like, wait, what?
Really?
She worked in the unit. And I like look at the picture, and I'm like, wait, that's, and I like look, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, these are like naughty pictures. And it's like not one, not two, I mean, it's like a stack. And it's like, oh shit, dude. I know. And that sucks, man, because it's like those are the people that I'm supposed to be counting on to watch my back, right?
Yeah.
I'm counting on that when something goes down, that you are going to make sure I go home safe, and vice versa. And when you're compromised at that level, I don't know if you're slipping the dude a knife. I don't know if you're like, I don't know what.
Because people, when they get caught up in the emotional and the feeling side of things, you make very irrational decisions. Yes. Giving an inmate nude photos of yourself is like the least thing you got to worry about. But if you're going to that extent and you're in the system, like, where does it evolve? Like,
I know.
And then it's just, then once they own you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, let's say you just give an inmate the simplest, like a cigarette, whatever. Yeah. The second you cross that line, they now have you, because then they can just rat you out and your career's done. Yeah. So then it's like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. And then it evolves and evolves and evolves.
Yeah.
So
you have to be so careful, dude, because it's the things that you think are like just minor. Like, right? It always starts with something small.
Okay.
I remember, and then I'll tell you a really sad story about a inmate or a staff that got compromised. But I remember for me, one time I was out at one of the minimum security blocks. And so this is like where all the workers work. Okay. Those worker units are pretty laid back. Like, they usually don't get in a lot of trouble.
People are trying to get to those units.
You want to get to those units because you get paid. You get like 12 cents an hour, which isn't a lot. But when you got 40-year sentence, like, man, go make a couple bucks and buy some commissary, right? Yeah. So people want to get there. It's a reward. I was out there one day. I was working like the evening shift, and you kind of give them a little slack, right? You can't be. I was never that black and white, but even more out there. Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, man, we're gonna make some ice cream," and I'm like, "All right, I don't care, do it." And they have their whole thing where they make it. They put all the ingredients and a bunch of salt and stuff in a bag, and they put it in a bathtub, and then they basically like making with an ice cream maker, right? You know the old one.
Spins, yeah.
Do that same thing in a bathtub with these plastic bags, and you make ice cream. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Make your ice cream. And so they make it, and then they bring me a bowl, and they're like, hey man, we just want to say like thanks for letting us make it. Just want to see if you want any. And I'm like, and right away I'm just like, hell yeah, like I'd love some ice cream. Like, this sounds great. And I'm like, nah man, I'm good. Like, and as a matter of fact, like, remember who I am, and like remember what this is. Yeah. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like, won't take it any further, but like, don't even ask me next time.
So something that simple.
Yeah, because like he might not have meant anything by it. He might have genuinely just been being polite.
Yeah.
He might have also been like, step one, right? Step one was me
technically grooming in a way.
Step one was me looking the other way, because they shouldn't be making ice cream.
Yep.
And then it's just one step after the other. So in those worker units, we used to have, and they probably still do, but it's a single man post. So one staff member would be out there at a time with, I think probably 30 or 32, 36, something like that, inmates. And there were 2 units. Okay. Single man post. And then there's 3 shifts, right? There's daytime, evening, up until, I can't remember what time, 10 p.m. I think, and then like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Well, they had a female doing the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. single man post out there, which already I'm like,
that's sketch.
I don't know if that's a great idea. Yeah. Right? Sure enough, man. Find out through a phone call, because all the phone calls are recorded, and there's an investigations team that listens to phone calls. They go through the mail. They, looking for contraband and shit like that. Over here on a phone call, this inmate bragging that he was banging a CO at night. And sure enough, man, I'm the assistant shift commander. At this point, I'd promote it. I'm probably 4 years in at this time. This is kind of later in my career. And Ada County comes in because this is a felony, right? Like hooking up with it's a sex crime.
Yeah.
Ada County's there. She'd been referred for criminal charges for this hooking up with this inmate. And so as I'm trying to remember if it was as she was coming or as she was leaving, but it was one of the two. It was as she was coming in for work or as she was leaving work. But we grab her and pull her aside, and she goes into this room, and she's talking to the warden, Ada County, and one other person, like a deputy warden or something. And I'm like in the room next to it in the lobby. And I see him go in, and I already know what's happening. And so they tell her, like, hey, you're going to be arrested. We're taking you out in handcuffs. So we're going to give you a minute to, remove your belt and all your gear and stuff. And then, like, you're going out in handcuffs out the front door. Mm-hmm. And so the warden steps out, and Ada County steps out. The sheriff steps out. And so we're waiting in the foyer, and a couple minutes goes by. And a couple minutes goes by, and then we're like, we probably need to check on her and just make sure, and go in, and she's hanging.
No.
She hung herself. She was hanging by her belt, just right there in the room. And I had known her for probably 2 years.
Really?
She didn't die, luckily. We were able to.
In the process.
Yeah. But yeah, so when you talk
over an inmate.
Yeah. So when you talk about like these things matter, like this is serious. She's ruined her life. She made that decision. 100%. She ruined her life.
100%.
And then she tried to kill herself. So it's like
that's insane.
And that is what is so hard about that job, man. Is like, okay, well, watch her almost, try and kill herself. Watch her go in handcuffs. Worked with her for a while. All right, now I'm gonna go coach my kids' football team. Like nothing happened.
Dude, the correctional facility world is
so crazy,
wild. This is why I love having these conversations, because without this, like people just don't know.
No idea, man. Yeah, and it